So a couple of days ago, the owner of Project Apex DM'd me, and he asked me whether I wanted early access to this beauty right here. If you weren't already able to notice, this looks like a Formula 2 car. However, from my talks with the owner, Ek, he told me that they're gonna be differentiating this a little bit to match Project Apex more. So think about it as a custom Formula 2 car. That means that we won't have DRS, but the rest are probably going to be the same as the F2 cars. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check what this bad boy is capable of. First off, I want to start by the sound. Take a listen. So that's that with the sound, but I want you all to take this with a small pinch of salt, as the sound still isn't final and everything you see today still isn't final. So until it's all out in the game, don't take anything you see for granted. Before we start doing some laps, I also want to show you the extra liveries that were provided by the owner. These are obviously not all of the liveries that they have prepared, but he gave me 4, which are Jans, or in real life Dams, Martin, or in real life Carlin, QR Motorsport, or in real life MP Motorsport, and last but not least, Rise, which will be what Prema is basically in real life. They all look amazing, and without further ado, let's get into our laps. I will be comparing our laps side by side with an actual F1 car, so you guys can see what the difference is. It is huge, I will tell you that. So yeah, I will catch you all at the start-finish line. Alrighty, so our tires are prepared. We are prepared to start our lap. Through the final corner we go, onto the main straight of Mexico. No DRS unfortunately on these F2 cars, but we will have to deal with that as we go 180 miles per hour through the main straight. We'll be heading down till turn 1 in just a few moments. We're going to be braking in between the screen and the 100-meter braking board, and through here we go. We're going to be cutting the corners just a little bit, as I noticed that the car is way more oversteery than the F1 cars. That is not supposed to be happening, as the F2 cars normally are very much understeery, but here they are fairly oversteery. Maybe that's the ground effect working for us right there. Through this section we go. Let's make sure we don't spin, as the car is very vulnerable on them exits. This is normally flat out in an F1 car. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, not really flat out, as we invalidate the lap, but let's just continue and see how it is. Through here we go. I'm not even gonna attempt this flat, as that is normally just about flat out with the F1 car, but not with this Formula B car that Project Apex is going to be calling it. So on that curb, let's brake. We go a little bit deep, but through this section we'll be going right now. And let's start our second lap. Hopefully this time it's not invalid, as we go through the final corner once again onto the main straight. And this is where the car really shines. It is fairly close to real life as well, I will say. The tone of the engine is just really close to real life, and I can't wait to see the final version. But for now, we brake in that middle of that 100 sign meter board and that little screen over there as we almost spin out. That was absolutely crazy oversteer, but we move on through this smaller straight. Normally we'd have DRS through here, but this is the Formula B car, doesn't include DRS. Through here we have to keep it aggressive. The car likes that from what I can see. This chassis is definitely one of the most oversteery ones that PA has made. It definitely feels really close to Ion Formula Racing. However, it still has that slight bit of understeer that differentiates those two games together. As we move through this section right here, as we almost spin out again, as I have to correct myself over there. Crazy stuff with this Formula 2 car. It's probably the new regulations working for us out there. Also, no data available for the developers, so the chassis can change throughout the season. As we go through the final corner, once again, I can't remember if we invalidated this lap or not. We will find out very shortly as we cross the line. That was not the line, actually. The line is just ahead of us. There we go, as we cross the line, 128.0. I have no idea how much quicker the F1 car was. I guess you guys will find out in the video. Now, as I do another lap, I will just take this a bit more chill, but I just want to say that this car is confirmed to be a Game Pass car. No idea what the price will be yet, as the owner did not tell me anything about that, but just expect that you won't be able to get it with the in-game currency. You will have to spend your Robux. As we move through our lap, first sector was purple once again, as we're getting quicker and quicker with this car. The more we drive it, obviously, the more comfortable we get with it. I'm not 100% comfortable with it still, but just give me a few laps. I will get very much used to it, and I will give you guys a very good lap time. However, we move on through these fast sequence of corners. Through here, I will brake just a little bit to get that apex in. There we go, as we get a good exit out of that corner. We don't lose our rear, which is very, very important for that momentum out on the straight. 6/10 up already on our lap, so that's a really good sign. Almost a second up now. Very great stuff as we go through this section of Mexico, through the stadium, as I almost lose the rear again, but I do keep it intact. Through the final corner, I think we lost just a bit of time through there, but it's going to be like a second worth of improvement as we're going to be crossing the line right about now. What is that going to be? A 126.9. Yeah, over a second worth of an improvement. Alright, so the timer resets in 60 seconds, and as it resets, I will be doing my final lap of this video, and then we will be resting this case in peace. Oh, and before I forget, we're also going to have this livery right here. I have no idea which team this is going to be in real life, or if there is a team like this in real life, but I guess we'll find out. Alright, so the leaderboard has resetted. Now, we're still a few corners away from starting our actual lap. So I want to quickly go ahead and tell you guys about the cameras of this car. Here is the third-person camera. Here is the third person but wider. Here's the T-cam. Here's the first person camera. Here's the front wing camera. Here is the front wing offset camera. And here is the T-cam offset. So those are going to be the cameras that this Formula B car is going to have. Obviously, it will be changeable in the settings. I mean, hopefully it's going to be changeable in the settings for you guys who want to make your few tweaks on the FOV and everything. All that sweet stuff. But we'll just have to wait and see in the main game. I have not gone ahead and changed anything on this car, by the way. It's all stock. I have no idea if it's going to have upgrades. It's probably not going to have upgrades, as none of the PA cars, apart from the 2023 ones, do. So this is basically the rawest footage that you can get of this. Also, don't forget that F2 is a stock series, so it wouldn't really make sense for Project Apex to add upgrades on the cars. But let's stop with the rumbling and start with the hot lapping as we go through the final corner into this main straight. We're going to be heading down into turn number 1 in just a few moments. Don't give attention to this lap right here as it's a 136.7. It's way slower than what we did before. We're going to be starting our actual lap right about now with the new soft tire compound that we fitted on the car as we go just a bit deep, but I think we saved the day as we kind of cut the track over there, but the game does not give us any validation, thankfully. As we're heading into the next sequence of corners, we're going to be braking normally like with the F1 car, and we're going to be heading straight left and right, as I almost flipped the car right there and lose its rear, but we saved the day right there. On the exit, great stuff. 8 seconds up already. I told you guys, do not give any attention to the lap that you see above us right about now, but we move through this fast sequence of corners right now. I'll brake just a slight bit just to not lose the rear as we move out on the straight right here. Great exit, by the way. Let's see how much quicker this lap is going to be than our last actual lap. I think it was a 126. I don't remember what the thousands were, but I guess we'll just see if we can crack that 125 with this F2 car. As we move through with the final corner, we're going to be crossing the line right about now. Actually, no, I confused those lines together, but we're going to be crossing right about now. 126.5. I think that was quicker than our last one. I think our last one's a 126.8, but I have no idea. I guess you guys will find out in editing. Anyways, guys, there's not much else for me to show you. The car looks amazing, I have to say. It sounds amazing. The handling still needs a bit of work, but obviously it's probably going to be different for the main game. Everything you just saw and heard today is still work in progress, so keep that in mind. And again, massive thanks to the owner of Project Apex for giving me this early access opportunity, and I'll catch you all in my very next video. Bye bye.